We're smoking the prime rib with a horseradish crust. We did twice baked potatoes. We even made a little au jus on the side. What about some dipping sauce? Prime rib season is upon us. The holidays are upon us, and I think we got a fantastic one for you. The prime rib. Some things to note. Just because this is not a prime grade does not mean it's not a prime rib. Prime rib comes long ago, probably before the grades of beef even existed. Prime means primal. So if anybody ever tells you that you're cooking a prime rib and it's not prime grade, that it's not a prime rib, in fact, that is not true. Many people will tell you you're going to buy the best quality of meat possible for your budget, and I agree. That's true with most meats. Whether you have the bone on or bone off, that's completely up to you. There's advantages and disadvantages of both. To this, we have the bones on, and we're going to keep them on. I've done it both ways. I've taken the ribs off, seasoned it, stuffed it with herbs and all that other shenanigans, and I never felt like it was worth the time or effort. We have a fantastic recipe on Pellets and Pits that I swear by. We're going to do the same idea of ingredients here. The ratio might be a little bit different, but we are going to switch things up a little bit. I'm a huge believer, way back when, and still today, of the idea called a forward sear, which is the exact opposite of a reverse sear. Reverse sear is you smoke it slow, or you bring something up to temperature very slow, and then you sear it off. Reverse sear. The forward sear method is what I do a lot of times on charcoal, and we're going to try it out today on the Traeger. You start off hot, super hot. You cut the heat back, and you let it calm down, and as it's calming down, the meat will come up to temperature. So you're kind of like fighting the exact opposite, okay? Reverse sear, you start low, you sear it, you get all that pressure build up, and you let it rest. The idea of cooking it fast at first and then dropping the temperature down should allow us to keep, in my theory, more moisture in the meat, and that's what it's all about. Softened butter, Dijon mustard, America's favorite W sauce, 1 large sprig of chopped rosemary, 2 tablespoons prepared horseradish. Oddly enough, it works. 1/4 cup mayonnaise, 4 cloves of garlic. Mix all this together, incorporate that butter. One advantage / disadvantage about keeping the bones on the roast. It's extremely hard to make enough au jus with the amount of flavorings you're gonna get from a small roast like this. Typically in the restaurant business or the catering business, any type of business, you're going through a lot of roasts, a lot of drippings, and you can spread those out. Go to the grocery store and find yourself that Campbell's can of beef consomme, okay? Take the drippings from this, add it to the consomme. You can reduce it down, you can thicken it up a little bit. Be your best bet, because it is so hard to create enough flavor from here without going through the root vegetable system and all that stuff. So we have a little cooling rack here system, because I am going to capture a lot of this, and then we will be able to make an au jus later off camera for our family get together. Presentation side down last. Don't waste a lot of time and effort on the bones. You're taking those off. Really get those sides. Season it with some good seasoning. And go ahead and top it off with that seasoning. Regardless of what kind of thermometer you have, it's very important, no matter what method you do. I swear about thermometers 110%. Internal thermometer. You guys know I'm rocking my smoking pecan pellets. Oddly enough today, I actually split it about 50-50 with the little hickory. So we got about 50% of that smoking pecan, 50% hickory. Being from the South, I love my hickory. Traeger's rocking 500 degrees. Whew.
Feels good out here in the cold when you open that grill, like an instant heater.
On the smoker it goes, the countdown begins. Let's start it with 15 minutes. Next up, we're making twice baked potatoes where our prime rib's going. Fantastic holiday tradition, twice baked potatoes. I've had people reach out before. This just goes to show there's many ways to skin a cat, as they say, many ways to do something. I actually prefer water-based potato, okay, not dried off, then I season it. The idea is once you bake it, the water evaporates, the seasoning sticks to the potato. But a lot of people reach out since I started using Bake It Up, said you gotta try it on a baked potato, you gotta try it on a baked potato. Here we go. So take some of that bacon up and you're just gonna rub your potatoes down completely with it. Nothing wrong with a little bacon fat. You can add salt, you can add pepper, you can add garlic, whatever you want to. How about salt, pepper, garlic, and butter? While our pellet smoker is running that hot temp, put that super smoke mode on 225. We're actually just going to take the roast off. While this is calming down, we're going to put it back on there about maybe about 275, somewhere through there, while this is calming down. About 15 minutes later, we got the smoker rocking around about 300. It's working its way down. It won't matter a hill of beans. Put that on there. Now we're going to do the waiting period. So we're going to pull this for our liking about 122 to 123 degrees, especially in that low temperature. If you were doing the exact opposite, you would have a little bit more heat, a little bit more combustion, and you might want to pull it just a little bit earlier because of the amount of heat it's absorbing. Since it's not a lot of heat, we can go just a little bit higher on the degrees. So I'm going to shoot for about 122 to 123. We have a half stick of room temperature butter. Little cheat code, use a little boars and cheese. Two green onions with the whites trimmed off. Heavy pinch of pepper. A little bit of salt, 1 pound of bacon that's been chopped, cooked, and drained. Go about half and half on that, a little bit for garnish. I got 1 clove of garlic. We're just gonna set it on here and let it do its thing. Using a microplane, this really gets that garlic small. Optional, of course, but it adds a ton of flavor. I just got a leftover mix of Fatina, Parmesan, Gouda, and sharp cheddar. That cheese is left over from that lobster mac and cheese we did on the Flat Top King. Fantastic. And just a little sharp cheddar right there. The orange and white more for color than it is anything. Sour cream. Looks like a good dollop to me. And did you know that your baked potatoes are done anywhere between like 208 and 211 degrees? So if you put them on the smoker, you're not familiar with like the times because you're smoking something versus baking something. There you go. Internal temperature, once again, reigns supreme. So we're going to cut these in half. Scoop out that filling. And I'm going to knock the rest of these out. And just like that, you're going to mix it up, incorporate all those ingredients. And of course, you know the deal. On a twice baked potato, just fill the potato back up. I kind of like, I don't really like it smooth. I like the nooks and crannies, so when we bake it, some kind of get like little crispies. All about texture. And just for the tops, just a little bit more cheese. And more bacon. You can put these back on the smoker or in the oven just to melt the cheese. Everything's warmed. And then we'll finish the rest. The last hour, I jumped up from 225 to 250. Biggest reason because of color. During my testing, flawless today. Absolutely zero problems out of the meter probes. And when you're all said and done, it should look something like that. Beautiful color. That's why we started off a little bit hotter. Oh yeah. If you look right here, this is a lot of flavor. You can add a little water to deglaze your aluminum foil. But like I said, this is not enough flavor to really carry a true au jus. but you can start stacking these flavors with other things. I mentioned the beef consomme, and this will be a fantastic way to start. And if you held your tongue right and crossed your toes and your fingers, you should have edge to edge, perfectly medium rare, juicy as can be, prime rib. And depends on how your family like it. We obviously like our meat a little bit more on the rare to medium rare side. Facts are facts. If you want yours cooked more, you're just going to cook it longer. Rest assured though, the outside of these are going to be more of a medium well to begin with. So if you have a family that scattered everything from rare, medium well, and well done, you can kind of pick and pull where you're going from. So the medium wells will be out here. You can keep your smoker on. You can throw them back on the grill if you need to. And then obviously the people that want it not as done, you would carve from the middle. So you can get all the bang for your buck that you need. The bones, I encourage you to either one, keep them, or two, put them back on there, because these are absolutely luscious, beautiful, smoky flavor. You can keep cooking these down. You can make a lot of things with them. We've even made birria on the Flat Top King before with leftover smoked beef bones. Kind of like a cook's treat, you know what I'm saying? Go right there. And we'll carve it one more. I don't think anybody needs a 10-pound portion of prime rib.
Well.
And you can see it's done a little bit more on the edges than it is in the center. And as I mentioned, the homemade au jus, I just added water to that pan, loosened up all the bits, and I added some of my homemade beef stock, reduced it down really quick while this was resting, and there's some quick au jus. And to accompany it is one of our favorites. It's a horseradish cream sauce. It marries all the flavors together. That recipe is on Pellets and Pits as well, really quick. It's like mayonnaise, sour cream. It's got your Dijon mustard, your W sauce, some horseradish, a little bit of pepper. I'll stay away from the salt on the sauce. Really good to go. You got your twice baked potatoes, and this is a holiday feast worth your weight in gold. Is that a saying? I'm gonna change it. Worth your weight in prime rib. Cheers, kid. I mean, we're gonna say perfectly cooked for us. Mmm. Mmm.
Mmm. Mmm.
Good.
Mmm.
Man, it's so good.
Mmm.
And my favorite.
Yep, that sauce.
Yep. Hey, quick tip.
Cheers, baby.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Save this smoked prime rib. Shave it as thin as possible if you want to. Then add some like smoked Gouda or even like American cheese slices. Whatever you want to add, like provolone, Cooper sharp cheddar, and make yourself a fantastic smoked ribeye cheesesteak. My family's going to enjoy it. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas from my family to yours. Thank you so much for this year. It's been absolutely incredible. We could not ask for a better fan base. You guys push us to be better. You guys challenge us. You guys call us out when we need to be. And that's what makes the world go around. And I cannot stress the importance of what you guys bring to us. It's not what we bring to you, it's what you bring to us. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Cheers to 2025.
And lots more good food.
Golly, I don't know. I mean, this is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.